Hello, everybody. This is Ian Beckles, and welcome back to the Plant Power Podcast. We've been doing this for a few weeks now, and we're trying to get you guys abreast of what's going on in the world of plants. It started off as a cannabis podcast, and we've kind of broadened the horizons a little bit, and we've kind of ventured off to Kaaba and Kratom, since we do own a Dignitary Tea and Kaaba house here. We do sell the best Kaaba and Kratom in the area, but I'm not one to brag, but you got to come check us out. But now we're called Plant Power Podcast, and we're going to be that going forward. And we have a great association with Radio Influence and WeBeam TV, and we're just trying to do some big things. So hopefully big things are on the horizon. Now, I want to give much love to our title sponsor, Curaleaf. I'm there so often, I might be there right now. I'm there 2-3 times a week. So much so where they told me I was out of flower the other day, and it was a very sad situation. But if you're looking for somewhere to go for your medical marijuana, my choice is Curaleaf. I've been to all the other spots as well, and it's my baby. I love Curaleaf. So check them out. They're all over the darn place in the Tampa Bay area. Now, this is a beautiful thing because I'm going to do some of the show myself. We're going to bring Frank the Kaaba OG over sometime to talk a little bit about Kratom, and he's going to be in here a little later to serve some Kratom to these two lovely young ladies who I know for a fact Kaaba is their world, even more so than myself. I'm kind of new to this whole thing, but these are the Bula Babes, and I hope I do this right, Jessica Vergullio and Isabel Rabine. How are you girls doing?
Good, how are you?
Doing fantastic. Welcome to Plant Power Podcast. And I'm going to tell a funny story of how I first met these young ladies. I was sitting here in a cafe, and 2 other girls walked up, and I said, "Are you the Bula Babes?" And they go, "Who is that?" So then they left, and you 2 ladies walked up, and you guys had to tell me you were the Bula Babes. And I actually was waiting for you guys to come. So talk to us about a little bit about how the Bula Babes came about.
For me, I already did marketing and social media and promotions, and I kind of realized that there wasn't anything out there.
You're right.
Yeah, at all. That was exploring Kaaba bars, seeing different types of Kratom, different types of Kaaba. Just each one of them is so different
Sure
too. So for us, we liked going to Kaaba bars already and doing Kaaba crawls, and we were already taking photos, so it was like, might as well make this account and kind of spread the word, give people the option, you know, if they don't want to drink maybe, or if they're trying to stay around those certain environments.
Sure.
These Kaaba bars are pretty similar,
Yeah, they are.
other than the fact that, you're going to be safe to drive home later, and you'll remember everything. Yeah. So,
yes, that's a beautiful thing, right?
So it's, it's an option, and especially for females. I mean, Bula Babes could be anybody, but I definitely want to kind of get all of the women in the Kaaba community together.
No doubt. And now, Isabel, what is your exposure to Kaaba? How did you first get exposed to Kaaba?
I've actually first started when I was living in Melbourne.
Okay.
I had a friend take me there. I had a tea, and I never really went back. I had a good friend of mine pass away that actually went to that Kaaba bar. After he passed, I started going there more often. And I think I went maybe once a week. It turned into, every other day, turned into every single day.
Sure.
And that suddenly just became my scene, my people.
You are, yeah. And listen, I've been drinking since I was 12 years old. I'm 54 years old, so you could do the math. It's a lot of freaking years. That's a lot of years of drinking. And I haven't had a drink of alcohol in 6 months. And literally, it coincided perfect with me getting introduced to Kaaba, because I wanted to stop drinking. Because I've always said this: everybody who drinks wants to stop drinking. Yeah. Everybody, all of them. And I'm not saying you shouldn't drink, that's fine. I'm saying, but most people who drink excessively and have a personality like I do, you know that drinking's bad for you and you're better off not drinking. Yeah. So I was introduced to Kaaba at the perfect time when I cut the alcohol out. I don't even want alcohol anymore. Like, I see the way people are acting and they're breathing on me, and I just don't want none of that anymore. You know what I mean? So were you guys drinkers back in the day?
Yeah, I wouldn't say I ever had a problem with it, but I definitely, it was holding me back. I do a lot of wildlife rescue, and when I'd be on call, that meant not one beer, nothing.
Sure.
And when you're on call, you don't know when it's going to happen. So I still want to be like social and go out, and if you go to a Kaaba bar and have, one Kaaba or one tea, you're good to go.
Yeah.
Like, and yeah, it's an environment. Now can't really go into bars without being like, oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I didn't really get it at first. I really didn't. And I think the first time I really understood it was Mad Hatters. Like a young lady, Sonia, she goes, I want to take you for a couple crawls. So we went to a couple places, and I had a couple shells. I didn't get it at first. And then I went to Mad Hatters, and I looked around, and I go, this looks like a normal bar.
Yeah.
And they go, it is a normal bar. And then it hit me. I go, people that don't drink alcohol like to go to bars.
Yeah.
And then that's what we've turned into here. You come and people are just hanging out. Like we have DJ Don Pablo here tonight, and people are going to be having a great time playing chess, listening to some good music, hanging out with people that aren't breathing nasty liquor all over you. And you know that you can have a good conversation with somebody who's educated and who's not acting an ass and, you know, is acting all drunk. You know what I mean? So Bula Babes, how far has it spanned to this point? I know I see a lot of your stuff mostly in Florida, but I mean, so how many Kava bars you think you've been to?
I know exactly how many.
You know exactly the number.
I have a sheet, and I update it every time. I'm at 87.
87, and that's just Florida?
No, so I've been to the one in Mexico.
Okay.
There's only one right now.
One in all of Mexico?
There used to be others, but when COVID hit, a lot of them got shut down.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah. I've been to the ones North Carolina, Georgia.
Atlanta?
Yeah, Kava Mama.
I went to Kava Mama, and I didn't get a chance to meet her.
Okay.
But since I've been in contact with her, she's real sweet.
Oh, super nice.
Real nice. There was a young lady working there, and we talked a little bit, and I know she said she comes by the Tampa area every once in a while, so I really want to link up with her. And there's not a lot of Kava bars in Atlanta.
No, I think there's only one other one.
That's seriously?
Yeah, so it's kind of hard, but it is spreading out. But other than that, no, I mean, it's mostly Florida.
Sure.
Because this is the biggest,
this is
concentrated area. But I definitely want to go, West Coast, which is where I was originally from. So I want to see all of those that are open too.
No doubt. So Isabel, obviously you're hopping around a lot of these different Kava bars. And I don't want to ask you what's your favorite Kava bar. It's not fair because clearly it's a dignitary in the Kava house, clearly. But when you go into a Kava bar, what's the most important thing for you to be there?
Well, I like to look around first, and I see kind of how they have everything laid out.
Okay.
I look for more comfort.
Okay.
I like to be comfortable where I'm at.
Understandable.
It's where a good place so I can chill out.
Sure.
Which is why I enjoy drinking Kava so much. So I look at see how the layout is. If it looks like there's like couches and stuff that I can just sit and relax in, that's something that's really big for me when I'm looking in Kava bars.
Well, I mean, we won't toot our own horn, but I have been here for a long time, and I see people walk in, and I always look at them, and one of them first things they almost say, I'm comfortable here.
Yeah.
And then somebody says, it's almost like you're inviting me into your home. Yeah. You know what's ironic? I live here. So I literally lived here before I made it a Kava bar. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So this is where I live. So its style is not only me. I mean, it's literally me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when I move out of here, my house can look something like this. Okay?
Yeah.
That's my style. Now, what's the most obscure Kava bar you've ever been to before? You walked in and just didn't. Well, no, that's not fair. Because what I don't want to do is badmouth anybody.
Yeah.
We had somebody who worked here and was badmouthing someone. I said, stop.
Yeah.
No way. Okay.
Yeah.
What you want to do is applaud every Kava bar out there.
Oh, yeah.
Because I learned this from Joey Redner, who started Cigar City. When I was doing some stuff for him way back when, I said, listen, you're my craft beer. You want me to talk about other craft beers? He goes, you can't talk about beer enough. So we don't hear about Kava that much.
Yeah.
And I'm on the radio every day, and people are like, Bula is almost, people know Bula to be me. Because Kava is one of those things where it's either you know everything about it or you know nothing about it. You know what I mean? So have you ever had any bad Kava experiences? You go somewhere and just you could do it the right way and do it the wrong way. Have you had bad Kava experiences?
I wouldn't say I've ever had an experience that was like actually bad. I will say I went into a Kava bar that wasn't necessarily fully a Kava bar.
Okay.
It was, like a smoke shop as well.
Well, then you
And the only thing was the Kava tender didn't know what I meant when I asked for a shell.
Well, that's a problem.
Yeah. So that was, that was the only time where I was like, what is she gonna give me?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
we were
but it
definitely.
was still fun.
Yeah, it was a nice environment.
Mm-hmm.
People there were still really nice, but it was kind of like when we asked for it, we weren't exactly sure what she was going to give us.
Sure.
So we kind of sat down and we looked at our drinks and we were like, okay, you're ready to drink
Yeah.
this?
Here we go.
Well, this is what I'm finding out, and I found this out before I opened my own Kaaba bar, is I did some investigative journalism, and I went all by myself. Like, I didn't know anybody that drank Kaaba, nobody.
Yeah.
So I would go to, I remember went to Speakeasy in Ybor City, and I went to Muddy, and I went to a couple other places. I just kind of sat and looked around and listened to how people were talking, and I realized that the single most important thing in the Kaaba bar is a person is a passion behind it.
Yeah.
And a person whose love is that.
Yeah.
And we talked to Brian from Muddy. He's very passionate about
Yeah.
it. Like, Brian, from what I hear from other people, was going to every Kaaba bar before he opened his.
Yeah.
So it's not a coincidence that he's a success.
Right.
Now, Frank the Kaaba OG, who's going to be bringing us some Kaaba a little bit later, I'm not going to speak for him. I'll let him speak for himself. But it comes out he's been waiting to do this his whole life. Like, it's like he's been collecting the spiels and learning about everything and digging deep, and because I'm the pretty face, okay? You know what I'm saying? I'm the pretty face. No, but Frank is the passion behind it. If I have to sit back and make the Kaaba and the Kratom, I probably could. I'm just telling you, it's not going to be the same, because I realize that person is the most important person in the whole building. Everything's, the scenery, everything's cool, but the Kaaba tenders themselves are very important.
Yeah.
Yes.
And you wouldn't be like, you'd be surprised how many people don't drink Kaaba. That's a Kaaba tender. They'll literally be like, oh, I don't drink it.
See, now, I don't think we could have that.
No.
Like, it doesn't make sense.
No.
It's really difficult to try, like, in explaining the product you're selling to your clients, I guess you'd call them, and not know exactly how to describe it.
Sure. Well, it doesn't. Well, first, okay, if I'm at a restaurant and I said, this is what I like to say. What's the best thing on the menu? And if the person says, I don't eat here, I mean, you don't eat here. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would fire that person. You don't eat here. Of course you're supposed to eat here. Or I don't eat meat. I mean, that's fine, but then, excuse me if I don't take your advice.
Yeah.
Because, I eat the face off a goat. You know what that's all. You guys are probably vegan, aren't you?
No.
Okay, good. I didn't want to trip you out.
No.
I didn't trip you out. That's a good thing. So I went to all the different Kaaba bars, and I bounced around, and I saw the different layouts, and I realized it's not rocket science. It's not. It's about feel.
Yeah.
But then again, bars are not rocket science either.
Right.
No.
It's just the people there, the way you treat them. When they walk in, they're feeling at home. The good music playing, stuff like that. Some nice people. You know what I mean? And what I like about this is you could find people from every walk of life, every different color, from every side of the track. That's what's so beautiful about Kaaba.
Yeah.
It is.
And the thing, it brings people together. Like, I see people having conversations sometimes, and I go, when else would this happen?
Right.
Yeah.
Like, those people are polar opposites.
Yeah.
And they don't know anything about each other, but they're making that work. You know what I mean? So now, I'm new to Kaaba. I'm new because I'm 5-6 months in this thing, so I'm relatively new. I think I've been muddy before. But then again, sometimes it has so much THC in me that I don't know if it's that hitting me either.
Right.
I'll be honest with you. All right. So do you get muddy every time you drink Kaaba?
Yes.
Every time.
Every time.
No.
So
I do anyway. I do every time.
Can I tell you what? I don't know where the line is for being muddy, because, like, Frank's been telling me about the reverse tolerance and all kind of stuff. And when I get off the air at 7 o'clock and I haven't had my shell yet, that first shell I have, I'm here.
Okay.
And then I start coming down.
Yeah.
So is that muddy?
Yeah.
That's
well,
muddy.
and it varies to different people. I drink kava every single day. I
As
don't
do
know
I.
the last
As
time.
do I.
Yeah.
I mean, it's been months for me.
Yeah, and it's everyone has their own different tolerance and how much they can handle. I can handle a lot because I'm used to handling a lot.
Yeah, I'm pretty good too.
And so some people can do one shell and be really rooted, and that just be their cap. Other people can have 2 or 3 shells, and then that's when they're like, okay, I'm good. I don't need any more.
Sure, absolutely. Now, I'm going to ask you a personal question.
Sure.
I've also talked to people, and they said if you drink too much, either Kratom or Kava, people tend to purge. And we've had a situation here one time when one guy was doubling up some stuff, and it went, and I heard it doesn't have much warning.
No.
And it just. So have you guys done that?
Yes.
Both
I have
of you?
also done. I have done that.
Really? And it just comes on like whoop.
I mean, no.
Did you
nothing
get
like,
some? You got to where
yeah,
you're okay.
Yeah, no.
This
I
guy did
mean, no
not
one
get
would have
that.
ever even known.
See,
no one would have
really?
known I was
Okay.
sick.
Okay.
But I knew I was sick.
Yes.
Yeah.
But this is, one of those instances where it's like, okay, maybe I didn't eat enough today. I didn't drink
Sure.
enough water. A lot of times it's like right after I get out of the car and I'm
Understand.
already kind of motion.
Yeah.
But it's only happened a few times. But yeah, you need to make sure you eat enough
Yeah.
and you're drinking water, just like anything.
Like,
you know
sure,
what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, the whole eating stuff is not never a problem for me. But sometimes drinking water,
Yeah.
I'm an extremist, we'll say.
Yeah.
Like I go from I had a competition with my daughters. You have to drink a gallon of water a day.
Yeah.
And we did it for like 20 straight days. Gallon of water every day. That's a lot of freaking water.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then when the competition ended, I didn't drink water for 4 straight days.
Oh my God.
I'm like, what the hell? You're supposed to find somewhere in the middle.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I've never been a middle guy, unfortunately.
I
And
gotcha.
you say you enjoy Kaaba. Imagine living in a Kaaba bar.
Yeah.
Imagine that.
Yeah.
It
I
could be a problem.
live so close to
Yeah.
3 separate kava bars.
Well, imagine having your bed next to the Kaaba bar. That's, you know what I mean? Like, I
Yeah.
go through that test all the damn time. Okay, we're gonna have this another segment, and we're gonna bring Frank the Kaaba OG in here, and he has a couple epic kavas, and I don't want to say too much about it because I don't know that damn much about it. But Frank is gonna educate us on some new kavas that we have in. I've tasted them before. You're gonna be tasting them for the first time, and we get a chance to see what the experts think about our kava. So don't go anywhere. We'll be back on the other end on Plant Power Podcast. We'll be back. Welcome back to the Plant Power Podcast. We're hanging out outside of Dignitary Tea and Kava House. This is actually our outside lounge. And if anybody has a medical card, you can sit out here and smoke what you got, hang out here and do your thing. It's all legal. As long as you have your medical card, it's all good. All right. So we have these lovely ladies, Isabel and Jessica here. Bula Babe's been hanging out with us tonight, and I brought Frank the Kaaba OG back. What's up, kid?
Same old, brother.
Same old. You looks like you're chilling, brother. You're a chilly son of a gun.
I'm feeling good.
Yeah, you are. That's that Kaaba will do that to you. Now, Frank gets very, very excited when we have new Kaaba come in, and these lovely young ladies are going to get exposed to something I don't think they've drank before. Now, tell us about these 2 different Kaabas.
I hope it's nothing you guys have tried before. It's actually, these are single chemotype kavas. They come from a little island in Vanuatu. It's called Epe, and they're single chemotype. So chemotype is what makes up the effect of the kava, whether it's, euphoria or relaxation and whatnot. These 2 particular one's called Polarisol, and the other one's called Kalai. The Kalai is more of a body euphoria, and it's a heavy body euphoria, and it isolates that particular effect with that single chemotype. So I'm really excited because these are like super rare kavas, and I get them every now and then, and when I see them available, I jump on them. But
What was it called again?
The first one we're going to try is Kalai, and it's epic.
Kalai.
Kalai.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's the chemotype.
And where's it from?
This is from Epe, which is
Epe.
a little island off the coast of Vanuatu.
Beautiful area.
Yeah,
It's nice in the winter,
beautiful.
I heard.
And Vanuatu Kava is where Kava was originated, for where
Correct.
a lot of the legend comes from. So let's get this up.
Let's do it.
Bula!
Bula.
And it's known for
Boy,
its,
that-
it's known for its creaminess and drinkability.
Oh, that's very
Very,
smooth.
very smooth.
Yeah.
Creamy too.
And that
Yeah.
the numbing kind of
Yeah.
kept you up on the backside because my
yeah.
tongue is like no.
Unbelievable.
It has like a,
Yeah, right?
a
So now-
cucumber.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
It's a very fresh kava. When I open the bag, I mean, you can get that waft of kava right away
Yeah.
as soon as you open it up. So
It's got a little gritty finish to it though.
Yeah, a little
Good.
bit. Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. No, I like
Well,
that.
the sediment is where the cavalactones, because you're ripping those cavalactones off the root.
Yeah.
So that sediment is where a lot of, and you want to get some of that sediment in your
Yeah.
kava. You don't want a lot. You don't want the sticks and the stems and all that, but you want that nice little smooth sediment.
Sure.
Adds to the creaminess, adds to the effect, makes it more powerful. This one here is called Polarisol. This is a
Polarisol.
more mind euphoric
Yeah.
kava, and it's a really nice one before bed or after work. It really chills you out and it puts you right in that zone.
Polarisol.
Polarisol from Epe. Bula!
Bula. Oh man. Well, see, that one tastes almost nutty a little bit.
Yeah, yeah. And
if I may say
that's
so.
how it's described too. That's
Really?
the nuttiness in the background.
I'm becoming a Kava connoisseur.
And that's the thing about Kava. Kava, you know, people say, oh, Kava's so disgusting.
No, it's not.
Kava has a very delicate flavor profile. It can be damaged easily. Letting Kava sit too long, it's going to damage the flavor profile. Making too much at one time, using warm water. You got to really make sure you're specific on how you make it. Energy is absolutely important.
How small are your batches?
I do 1 gallon batches.
1 gallon batches.
Fijian style brew, and I want to keep it that way as long as I can.
Well, that's what we want, though.
Yeah,
We want it.
yeah.
We don't want to be the big. We don't want to be big farmer. We want to be mom and
And
pops.
that's where our benefit is, that we have multiple Kavas. We don't have just mind body 50-50. I've got 6-7 Kavas at any given time. So I'm going to have 6 or 7 gallons ready to go at any given time. But they're just going to be different. You're going to have your choice of effect. You're going to have your choice of Kava based on your palate, based on your preference, based on your tolerance. You know, some people have a lower tolerance. I'm like you. I can handle a lot of Kava. I don't need a lot of Kava.
Yeah.
But I can handle it.
Yeah, but at least we have to all know our limitations. Now, Jessica, I see you're drinking Kratom as well. I'm a Kratom fan. I like to have one about midday. I take it to work with me. I sip on it a little bit, and I have to have a couple at night in the midst of a couple of Kava shells here and there. You know, what do you think about Frank's Kratom to begin with, and where do you normally go for your Kratom?
This is really smooth Kratom. It's not gritty. It's not, you know, bunch of sediment at the bottom.
See,
it's not hard to
a
drink.
lot of places have a lot of sediment. Like, I don't. Who wants to drink that?
You know, you get a straw, you do what you do, and
Some people prefer that plant material because they're I think almost conditioned for it with the way Kratom was first introduced.
But isn't that the part that is going to mess you up inside, I would think?
It's
You know what I
hard
mean?
to digest. It's not good on your digestion, and that's where people are starting to realize now. If you brew it properly and you can strain out most of that sediment, you've got a good strong tea that's very medicinal, very beneficial. That's going to help in a lot of ways, and it's not going to get you nauseous. It's not going to make you sick, and you don't need a lot of it. You know, Kratom is a very regimented thing. You need to do it same day, every day the same way, same time, and it's going to work.
No doubt. So, Isabel, for you, do you feel the effect? Do you feel muddy? Do you feel it helped you? You do it for the euphoric feel? Do you do it for how it makes you feel physically?
Yeah, it's more of a physical thing. About a year and a half ago, a little bit over, I was heavily addicted to hardcore drugs, and it was based off of my body feeling.
Okay.
And so once I got really into the Kava community, I realized this gives me similar feeling that I was getting from the drugs that I was using.
Correct.
So after getting sober and diving really, really deep into drinking Kava, I realized I don't need that anymore.
God,
and
no doubt.
since then I've stayed sober.
Unbelievable. It's amazing the amount of, success stories we have come in here, and everybody has a story. I mean, do you have a specific story? Like, I don't have like a rock bottom story or anything like that, but if you think about somebody drinking since they were 12 all the way to 54, and I'm drinking like a handle every other day, that's not a great place to be.
No.
You know what I mean? So it's not rock bottom, but
Right.
it's just about, improving your well-being.
yeah.
So hopefully, like, you guys are very young to have this mindset. It's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's good because, I mean, everybody else your age, and I have 3 kids your age, they're probably out good and drinking right now. That's very possible. You know what I mean?
Right.
So but as far as plant power goes, are you guys in the cannabis world? Do you smoke cannabis?
Yeah.
Yes, and yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you have your medical card?
Yeah. I've had mine since. Actually, it turned out perfect. When I moved here from California, I only had to wait a few months until it was a thing here. But yeah, I've
good
had
for
mine
you.
since the beginning. You know, for
Really?
me, it's always helped me. But people don't really know whether or not, I'm ever smoking or not, because I do it very little. You know what I mean? It's a little bit for me to help, but not enough that I'm ever like, oh, she's high. Yeah.
But listen, okay, I've been smoking only since I was 35, okay? And that's pretty late. Like, most people smoke before that.
Yeah,
you
I
know what
started
mean?
late too.
But I'm 54, so I've been smoking a little bit now. And people are like, well, you smell so high. Am I high now?
You don't look like it.
Well, I tell you what, at about 6 o'clock, I took enough edibles to choke a dinosaur, but I can still focus on what I'm doing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I'm on the air every day.
Yeah.
So during the day, sometimes I walk around, take a couple puffs here and there, just to kind of take the edge off.
Yeah.
But I don't ever find myself getting like so high that I can't do anything anymore.
Right.
Like that's something that happened when I was first, smoking way back when. Now I don't know how much I have to smoke to get that high.
Yeah.
Now if you mess with edibles, that gets you in a funnier place quicker. But you know how that goes. Now what about CBD? You guys are exposed to CBD at all?
I use a lot more CBD instead of using marijuana.
Okay, yeah.
Just because I'm always doing something. I'm always moving. I have 3 jobs, so
Sure.
I'm always, working.
Sure.
And it's easier to have CBD on me than
Okay.
to have THC.
Correct.
A lot more legal and a lot more places.
Yeah, it gets you in a lot less trouble. And we have some great products here, and we had some great meetings here the last couple of days. We're going to start white labeling some of our own CBD products. We do already, but it's time for us to expand our horizons a little bit and get out there and start selling this Dignitary brand to some other people as well. And here it's going to be good, but it'll be good elsewhere as well. Frank, you're the man, dog. Kava OG.
Yeah,
you need to know
thank you. That was
anything about
delicious.
Kava, that's the dude right there. Ladies, you guys were fantastic.
Thank you.
You guys are naturals, and thank you for coming to our humble abode way back when. And thank you for coming back. And when these cameras go off, maybe we'll activate our medical cards or something. We can probably make that happen since we're in the medical card lounge. So if you guys are looking for somewhere to hang out with some like-minded people, we're here at the Dignitary Tea and Kava House, and we serve the best kava in town, the best kratom in town. We're actually going to be messing around with some cacao as well. So come hang out with us. We'll all raise a shell. Bula. Have a great week.